With the new Inspire Pro, Enya is seriously upping the game of their carbon fiber smart guitars. I reviewed the previous version on the channel as well, and while that model was a lot of fun, it could use some improvements and updates. And the folks from Enya went above and beyond to create this new version because they added a lot of stuff to this guitar, which is cool. Let's dive in straight away with the new Enya Inspire Pro. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't have the guitar plugged in. So all of the sounds that you heard came from the guitar itself with the built-in speaker. Now, if at any point during this video you're interested in one of these guitars, please use the link in the description below, as you'll support the channel that way through the affiliate link. I'd really appreciate that. Now, in case you're not familiar with the smart guitars that Enya makes, these guitars are not made out of wood. No, they are made out of carbon fiber. So, you know, it's like a synthetic material that is made to be comfortable and resonate well. So it's a material that works well as an instrument. And I can tell you that acoustically, this guitar sounds pretty darn resonant. And it feels good in the hand as well. It has like a matte finish on the neck, so it is a comfortable material to play. And it's very consistent, right? Now for the Inspire Pro, they updated the material that they are using so that it's more resonant and works even better for smart guitars like this. So that is the first improvement. I also think that the one that I'm holding looks really pretty with this purple sparkle finish and some gold hardware accents. So, you know, it looks pretty cool. They also updated the bridge. So this is a tremolo, obviously, which is now made out of titanium. And yeah, as I said, I like the gold accents. It looks good with the purple color, and it's more durable now as well because of the titanium that they're using. They also updated the frets, so they are now stainless steel for extra durability. So that's a nice touch as well. We also have self-locking tuners for even more tuning stability on the guitar. And for this particular model, because they do make two options. One is a little bit more affordable, I believe, which is the AL model, which has their own proprietary pickups. This one has Seymour Duncan pickups in it. So this one has the SSL TB4 set. Now, I love Seymour Duncan pickups, and I think they sound great. The cool thing about a smart guitar like this one is that you can use it as a regular guitar. So when the guitar is turned off, you can just plug this into your amplifier and use it as you'd use any other guitar. Once you turn it on, you enable the built-in processing and amp modeling and everything. And then you can use it either with the built-in speaker, as I demonstrated to you earlier in this video, or plug it in with headphones and use it directly onto your head, or plug it into your mixer or audio interface so that the signal of the guitar goes directly into there. For the built-in speaker and for using it, you know, completely wirelessly, just turn it on and you're good to go. Now, let me talk a little bit about the controls of the guitar. So this big button over here, that's a very important button. When the guitar is off, there will be no light ring around the button. Then it's your average normal guitar, and this will be your volume control. You can also use this control to switch the presets. So right now we're on the green preset, as you can also see on the app on my phone over here. If we click this control once, we'll go to the next preset, the blue preset, which is more of a crunchy tone. Crunchy tone with some delay. Click it again for a nice crunchy rhythm tone. And click it once more for a sound that I downloaded with the AI. I'll talk about that later in the video. That has a special effect built in as well, which I'll get into. So yeah, you can use this for volume and for switching the presets or turning the device on and off, right? That big button over there. There's also something cool about this control. There's a little notch right near the end. If you go past that little notch, you enable the bright boost. You basically bypass a bunch of circuitry for the pickups, and you get a bit more of a direct in-your-face sound. It's It's not easy to demonstrate this in this video as I'm using the camera mic right now, but I'll try, see if you can hear it. This is the bridge pickup without the bright boost. And let's turn it on by going past the notch. It's a little bit more direct and in your face, okay? Over here we have your standard tone control for making the sound more warm and dark. But by lifting it, because it's a push-pull control, we enable different pickup settings. So press it down for a standard series setting with this 5-way selector switch. Okay. And pull it up for a different tone. So let's try that with the 4th position, for example. Okay. So this is the 4th position with the control pushed down. Let's pull it up. So it's a different flavor. So that gives you access to a bunch of different tones. So you've got 5 positions, 3 pickups, and then also the series and parallel settings with the push-pull tone control. So that's really nice. It gives you a lot of control over the tones. And then we also have this little control over here, which I will show you in a minute. First, let's talk a little bit about the speaker, because they also updated the speaker. It's now a 20-watt speaker, and they tried to improve it so that it feedbacks less. Now, they definitely improved it, because as I'm on this sort of crunchy rhythm tone, with the previous version, it surely would have done that woo resonating feedback thing. That's not the case with this sound. Now you have to be a little bit mindful of this still, just because of how a speaker like this works. It's in the body. It's going to resonate with the body. If you add too much gain to your preset and too much low end, you will get some like woo resonating feedback there. So just be mindful of that. If you don't want any of that, just plug straight into your interface, which I'll do later in this video as well. And of course, you can also, avoid all the internal processing by having the guitar turned off. Of course, you can charge the guitar as well. The guitar did come with an adapter, so that's really nice. The battery life is nice and long, so you can, charge it overnight and play it all day, basically. You also get a foot switch, which is this guy over here. It does have a lot of functionality, so you can use this to switch the presets, obviously. You can also switch banks by pressing these two or these two at the same time. So you can access a bunch of tones with the pedal on the guitar itself. Another cool thing that they added, and which is something that I did in fact request, is a built-in tuner. Okay, so that's cool. And you can do that with this control over here. So if you press that twice, sometimes it takes a little while. It's not perfect in terms of the response, okay? But now the tuner is on. It's a blue LED, as you can see. And if you play a note, by the color of it, you can see if your note is either too sharp or flat. If it's flashing red, your tone is sharp, or your note, I should say. When it's blue, it's flat, and green is good. So now it should be good, okay? You can also see what the tuner is doing on the foot switch, so I really like that. It's not the most accurate tuner, if I'm honest, but it's good that they added it to the guitar, okay? So that's nice. Let's turn it off. Okay, turn it off. Another thing that you can do with this control is enable the looper, because the guitar has a built-in looper. That's a lot of fun, honestly. So let's play around with the looper real quick. You can also control it with the foot switch. But let's turn it on by long pressing this button, okay? I'm going to long press the button. Oh, I pressed it for too long. You don't need to press it for too long. Then it turns blue, and then the looper is on, okay? Now, in the menu, let me go to the looper menu as well, just so that you have more control. You can control the looper with the phone app, or with the guitar itself with this control, or again, with the foot switch. I'm just going to try to do this on the guitar itself, okay? If I press it once, it will count down and play a drum loop as I record my chords, okay? Let's try this. etc. You can also stop it, overdub. I'm just going to clear it and delete that loop. Now, as you noticed, I did something with this little stripe over here. This is what they call the expression pedal. With that thing, you can do a bunch of things. For instance, with this clean preset, I have it set. Let me turn off the looper. All right, looper's off. I have it set to control the speed of the modulation. That's kind of cool, right? With the fourth preset that I have going on, I can also do that on the guitar itself. My sort of crunchy lead preset. I have a pitch shifter or whammy programmed in. Let's try that. That's fun, right? Right now it's set to the momentary mode. You can also set it so that it stays on the pitch where you've moved it to. You can control 2 parameters at once. So in this case, I have a pitch whammy, but you can also do it so that, for instance, the reverb gets wetter once you swipe it up. You can also program it as a simple kill switch. I think preset 3. Yeah, so for preset 3, it's programmed as a kill switch. Let's look at the menu real quick. So if you go to the EXP menu, right now, as you can see, it's set to kill switch. And if we go to the other preset with the whammy, so this is a preset that I downloaded with the AI, which I'll show you in a minute as well. You can see that it's programmed to momentary and set to the pitch shifter pitch, okay? It's not perfect. You can also turn it off if it's not really convenient for you. Sometimes I find myself hitting this by accident. You know, when I'm just playing and my fingers resting on the body. So it's not going to be ideal for everybody or for any sound. So just be mindful of that and, you know, keep in mind that you can turn it off as well if you don't need it. But it's a cool little feature that they added, but perhaps the placement is a little bit too close to where my hand is resting on the guitar. It's fun. It's a fun little feature, right? So that's another thing that they added. Now they also added a bunch of processing power, 3 times as much as with the previous version. That's why you can load a bunch of new amp models and effects. Okay, what I'd like to do now is plug the guitar straight into my interface so you can hear how this thing sounds when going direct. Now, keep in mind that if you plug it into your interface, you're going to get a completely different set of presets based on the scenario, okay? So you're going to get different presets for the built-in speaker and different presets for when you're plugging in direct, okay? All right, and as you can see, we have a bunch of presets here. Jazz clean, that's a nice clean tone. And now there is no sound coming from the built-in speaker. Everything is going directly onto my computer, okay? Now let's go to this Enter Sandman preset and tweak it a little bit. I want a different amp model. Let's do something high gain. Let's choose the VT channel 4. Before we rock out on the amp model, let's add a noise gate as well, because there's a little bit of hiss. That's not unusual for a tone like this. The noise gate is on, so that is great. Let's see how this amp model sounds. It's not bad, right? So there are a bunch of new amp models. I think the previous version had like, I don't know, 6 or 5 or something. Now there are so many. Let's try a rectifier. I think there was a rectifier in here. Grip Matte Modern. Let's try that. You've got 5150s, you've got Marshalls, you've got Voxes, Fenders, Friedmans, etc., etc. So a lot of stuff to choose from, and you can tweak the EQ and everything. This should be a Friedman. Of course, you can also add effects drive pedals, modulation. Let's add something like a phaser. Now, if I wanted, I could assign the expression parameter to that. Okay, so let's do this express and then go to the phaser and control the rate. And you can choose two different targets, right? So as I mentioned, you could do, for instance, a reverb and then the speed of modulation at the same time. So it's quite easy. And of course, you can choose momentary or choose the kill switch. So that's cool. This is the signal chain. You know, you can add effects and everything. And again, it's much more powerful than the previous versions. So that is nice. We also have the tuner over here, BPM for delay tempos and everything. But let me show you something really, really, really funny, okay? We also have an AI feature. Let's access that, okay? Let's say I want a Metallica tone, okay? Let's do that, Metallica. And see what happens. Then it's gonna search for a tone and create a tone based on AI. Let's see what happens, okay? This should be interesting. Let's click on the first one. Let's try another one, because you get multiple options. Nice, right? So that's a cool function. I see it as a sort of guide, you know, to guide you to have a starting point for a certain tone. It makes it easier to get tones. You download a tone with the AI and tweak it to your liking, basically, right? So that's a cool little feature as well. Of course, you can save your presets. Let's see what else we have. Let's not save what we have here. We have a marketplace where you can upload and download a bunch of presets. In the tools section, we have the tuner, the looper settings, as well as a global mixer for all the ins and outs. Some settings where you can turn the touch bar on and off. I think that's global. Firmware updates, etc., etc. So you have a lot of control over the guitar through the app. As you can see, this thing is capable of a lot of things. Now, this one came with the foot switch and also a very sturdy gig bag. Of course, you can also use the app to control it. There's so much that you can do with this. I hope I explained the basics and everything you need to know and everything that's new about this model. But be sure to check out the Enya website for all the information and all the details if you want to learn more. Massive thanks to the folks at Enya for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. What are my final thoughts? I think this guitar is well made. The fretwork with the stainless steel frets is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's definitely good enough for the price range of these guitars. I'm a little bit picky when it comes to fretwork, but you know, this will be fine for most people in terms of how level the frets are. The action is quite low. It's a little bit buzzy on some strings. We've got a 0 fret over here, and it's not perfect for me, but it's definitely not bad, okay? The tremolo is fun. It sounds good. The pickups sound good. I really like the fact that they added more models, improved the built-in speaker. I like the looper. There's just a lot of fun to be had, and the improved functionality with the foot switch is killer as well. So I think they did a great job with this. And if you're in the market for a fun, smart guitar, this is the one to get probably, because this one is the most capable that I've seen so far. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to also hit the like and subscribe buttons, as that really helps out the channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram as well. Yeah, and thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.